Senior German MEP HansOlaf Henkel revealed the information after discussing the possibility of Britain being offered a new EU deal in hope of keeping them in the bloc with Mr Juncker. Despite the European Commission refusing to admit its share of blame for Brexit, Mr Henkel said the Commission President told him he sees Britain's EU divorce as a personal defeat. The German said he pressed the chief eurocrat on the EU's role in the split, declaring the notion of a European superstate as just one of the reasons behind Brexit. During the January meeting, speaking to Express.co.uk, Mr Henkel said, "I think Juncker himself not only deeply regret it, but as a matter of fact, I asked him at the beginning, would you really like to be the Commission President during whose reign Britain is leaving the EU?" Express Getty Brexit News. HansOlaf Henkel reveals Jean-Claude Juncker sees Brexit as personal defeat. He really regrets Brexit and considers it a personal defeat. HansOlaf Henkel, he really regrets it and considers it a personal defeat. You can quote that. Mr Henkel believes the EU's reluctance to offer David Cameron the autonomy he needed to control immigration was one of the key drivers behind Britain's Brexit vote. The former Prime Minister travelled to Brussels in an attempt to hammer out new membership terms prior to the June 23. However, his deal fell short of the electorate's expectations. The German MEP added, "I mentioned the centralism tendencies of Brussels, which were against the grain of the British people. I also mentioned my opinion that David Cameron did not get the degree of autonomy to control immigration as he should have. He said that David Cameron got more or less everything he wanted, so here we disagreed." The German MEP, a vice-chairman for European Conservatives and Reformists group, urged Mr Juncker to offer Britain the best deal possible, adding, "Of course, his official line was the remaining 27 countries of the European Union have one line and he thinks he will follow that line." Monday, February 5, 2018. Michel Barnier and David Davis head to Downing Street for lunch meeting. In other words, he waits for Britain to make the first move. At this stage, he did not promise me he would come up with a new deal for Britain. Mr Juncker's anti-Brexit attitude should be a concern for the remaining EU member states because the long-term repercussions for the EU have yet to be understood, warned Mr Henkel. The German concluded the typical continental attitude that a bad deal for Britain doesn't really concern us much. I think that is a gross miscalculation.